hang it up. It's over. Can't take this no more, man. It's done. I'm sorry for the bad pun there, but you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, my man.
Well, it's funny that in some ways this series has become like an actual Hangover in that it started out like, whoa, yeah, woo, and then you came down, you're like, oh, I'm getting tired. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, God, this is agony.
That's how you feel walking out of all these movies, just like, oh, when will it end?
This is really like one of those hangovers that it's so bad that you don't even enjoy the time that you had fun. You're like, you know what? If I could have just not have even taken a drink, even if I would erase the fun I had to not go through this hangover.
On the other hand, it's not like a hangover because hangovers stick with you all day. I've already started to forget this movie. It just came out of it.
It doesn't even feel like the same director.
No,
this
I know.
movie.
I know. Despite his name being all over it.
All right,
this doesn't even feel like one of the hangover movies.
Yeah, Todd Phillips.
It's almost, to me, it felt like as if they made 2 hangover movies. And then it's 20 years later and somebody decided to dust the franchise back off and get new characters in there. But they're just doing, like we said, a cosplay of it.
This felt more like a Hangover reunion.
Yes.
Without the fun. It just seemed like the cast from the original film just said, hey, let's get together and film us hanging out and throw in a little stupid side story that nobody's going to give a shit about because it's the same story from the first and second movie.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't even know if you can say that here. Yeah. This is not the same story. This is totally, that's what's wrong. That's what's really wrong with this one. Because we all remember the Wolfpack. Stu, the old blue eyes, Bill and Alan, yeah. Zach Galifianakis.
And that other guy who always gets kidnapped.
Oh, yeah.
That guy you'll never know the name of. That guy.
Yeah, Doug, Justin Barr. That dude, he never has anything to do in these movies.
Well, he has something to do. It's called collect a check. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Easiest work that guy has ever had, man.
This one probably has him in it the most, and that little bit he's there, I'm going like, yeah, this guy's got no chemistry with them. They got to find some reason to get him out of there.
Yeah. Well, they do. And I think that's why I say it's the same story, because that guy gets kidnapped again.
Oh, it's the same story for him.
Yeah. for him, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's funny because, like, it's be careful what you wish for, because after the last one, which was just a point-by-point remake of the first film, where we're like, seriously, guys, this is so lazy. Why don't you try something different? And they do. They just forgot to make it funny.
Yeah, you're like, I'm sorry. Go back to the other formula.
Exactly. They had the safety net of repeating themselves over again. I mean, the exact same movie except for a monkey. That's about it. But with this one, man, this one has the wolf pack returning. They are officially now a pack, and Alan is about to have he's about to have, what do you call that thing?
An
intervention. I should know. I've had enough of them.
I was going to say, like, yeah, we set one up for you.
This isn't actually a review.
We set it up at Chuck E. Cheese.
We actually aren't reviewing this movie today, Corey. We have to talk to you about some of your
the reason this movie was so scattershot because we had them make that just to set you up to
bring me here. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry you wasted your money. You know these things never work.
Bradley Cooper will be in anything.
Bradley Cooper was in my intervention. But yeah, they have returned. Zach Galifianakis. They're finally getting tired of Alan. Alan he's so retarded now. They said we have to just come in and tell you, man, we love you, but you got to grow up. And it's enough that Alan is a pain in the ass, but it turns out that Alan, because we need this guy back in this movie, has been communicating with Leslie Chow, played by Ken Jeong. You remember the Asian guy with the little dick?
Chow is a cancer. He has been a cancer since the first day we met him. So we're going to hand him over to this guy, Marshall, and then it's done.
Hey, Phil.
Alan, not now, but I need you, Stu. I can't do this alone.
Do what alone? We have no idea where he even is.
Phil.
What, Alan?
Well, I was just going to say, I got this strange email the other day. I wasn't sure what it meant, but now I think it might be from Chow.
Fatty, feels good to be out. I'm close by. Tell no one. I'll be in touch. Chow. This says Chow. How did you not know this was from Chow?
At the time, I thought it was Chow like goodbye. You know, like Chow, Arrivederci, Sabaro, Papa Chow.
I'm writing him back.
And because he has been keeping up this correspondence with Leslie Chow, Mr. Chow, they get brought in on all the hijinks and criminal stuff that he's been doing, to where when this I guess mob boss played by John Goodman comes in and says, you know what, I can't find Mr. Chow, but apparently this dumbass over here has been talking to him. Mr. Chow stole some shit from me. You guys probably can get a hold of him better than I can. we're going to kidnap Doug because we always do that.
Because Doug has a big kidnap sign on his forehead.
Because we're going to kidnap Doug because he's not as popular or as big as a box office draw as the rest of you guys. Meanwhile, you guys go look for Mr. Chow and bring him back.
Yeah, now I could send some of my top mafia guys to do this work. But no, I'm going to trust you Three Stooges.
You fucking idiots.
How did you get to be a mob boss? Seriously, this is like a Three Stooges plot.
It totally is. Hey, are you the three men I sent for? Certainly, sir. Get to work, you mugs.
Quiet, you.
And you know what? The main problem with this is that, say what you will about the second one, and believe me, I got a lot of shit to say about the second one, but at least they kept it wild. This is considerably tamed down. What they've done here is that it is a typical greatest hits sequel, and it's almost like a sitcom because the only thing that they really had here, you know how sitcoms you might have a sitcom that starts out edgy, has some great writing, you love it, and it's kind of run out of steam. They say,
Family Guy?
Well, let's take the most popular character on here and make it about him.
Right.
You say Family Guy, but you remember Family Matters?
Yeah. Oh,
that show wasn't doing that well until Urkel came in, and then they made the show all about him. Turns out that Alan and Mr. Chow are probably the two most popular characters.
Why, I don't know.
I don't know, but they become popular.
He was the wild card, at least in the first movie. He was the wild card. It's like, man, what's this guy going to say next? You don't know what he's going to do. And it's up to these guys to like rein him in and help get themselves out of the situation. Of course, for Ed Helms, it was all about just having a pile of shit thrown on him every few minutes. This time around, it's like Alan's there just to say random shit that doesn't even make any sense, really has no impact. He's just to do something stupid to have Bradley Cooper go, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Actually,
what the fuck? That's his dialogue.
That's Ed Helms.
No, both of them. Like Ed Helms is, what the fuck?
Bradley Cooper's like, what the fuck?
Bradley Cooper's like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
No, they're barely characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, there's like the whoever wrote this is like, nobody cares about those guys anyway. I mean, there's kind of a late thing. We're like, well, I guess we'll give Bradley Cooper something to do because he's usually been the plan guy in the first two. Like, he is the alpha male. Here, he's just like, okay, somebody just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
They turned him into Han Solo, like in Return of the Jedi.
Seriously.
just kind of there hanging out.
Just chilling, yeah.
Just
And he
chilling out,
looked like he didn't want to be there. Like,
Well, why
remember,
would
had
he?
so much
Yeah.
energy in the first two, and this one he's like,
Who?
he just-
Which one?
Bradley Cooper.
Oh, Bradley Cooper.
He just looks tired.
Well, you know what? Look, that first one catapulted him to superstardom. It made him a name. He was always been grateful for that. So as we came to two, he's like, well, of course I'm going to do it. But yeah, I think by now he's like, I got my name.
Well,
He doesn't need
I don't
the series
this.
anymore.
But by this point, it's like, Jesus, man, I got an Academy Award nomination. I'm out there producing movies. I don't need
Why
this
am
shit.
I in this shit?
Yeah, and they pull that on, hey, well, you got your start. You know,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, all right. What the fuck?
It's a third one, so you could tell. I mean, I knew he was going to go through the motions. I was like, why wouldn't he? I mean, but yeah, watching this, it seemed like it was funny in the story. They're always trying to tranquilize somebody, either it be Chow or somebody else. And this, it felt like the script, the characters, everyone got tranquilized because it was just, you can just tell. I mean, man, with something like Hangover 2, where you go back and you look at that movie, it's like, well, at least I can say shit got crazy in a movie. That's something that should happen in a sequel usually. But, watching this, I'm like, wow. I mean, if you're not going to go the crazy route, at least let's get to know these characters a little bit more. Let's just see how crazy these characters can get until, the typical ending that we're going to have where everyone starts to see their faults and wonder why we're friends to begin with. Why don't you try to do something with that, I guess? But what are you going to do with
And
this,
the crazy thing is, like, okay, of course they started in Vegas and they went to Thailand last episode, and this time they go to Tijuana. All right, you could do a lot of crazy shit in Mexico.
Yeah.
Not them.
Not if you're there for 5 minutes.
Same thing with Vegas. This movie was sold on them, at least to me, it was sold on them going back to Vegas. And you assume the whole movie is going to be about Vegas, but no, not at all.
Last 10 minutes.
And
It's not even crazy or anything.
Yeah, it's almost like they went like, well, it's over. Oh shit! Oh, we promised everybody we go to Vegas. All right, just drive through it on our way back.
You have a choice to re-cameo two of the people who were in the original film between Heather Graham and Mike Tyson. Why would you pick Heather Graham? Apparently, Mike Tyson was waiting on a phone call. He was like, Yeah, they told me they were going to call me to be in this movie. I don't know why they did.
Mike Tyson said, "Don't call me."
I'm actually glad they didn't.
Yeah,
they didn't call him because that
But
guy's been in too many movies lately.
Still, he would have been
Too many.
funnier than Heather Graham, who serves almost no purpose in this film at all.
You know what? The purpose that she serves is that she gets to keep her dignity in this.
Yeah.
Because she plays probably the only sane, straight character in the whole thing. She's almost like, yeah, I know I was a whore before. You guys got to make fun of, but now I'm a responsible mother. So you coming to me for information.
Yeah, I mean, this really is. It is a, and I say this all the time, but it is a sort of a sitcom plot brought to a raunchy comedy, and this isn't even as raunchy. I mean,
There's no raunch.
What made the first one so fun is that all these guys were assholes to some degree. You know, they were very nihilistic guys because of their reckless behavior, because there was something assholish about each one of them. Now it's just like you were saying, Leon. They're just Three Stooges props, just to propel whatever lame road movie they have going on. I did laugh, and co-host, I know you did, because you love Asian stereotypes.
I know.
I know you were laughing at Mr. Chow.
Every time. Every time Mr. Chow spoke.
I tried not to. All right, I tried not to. I have a love-hate relationship with that guy who plays Chow. 'Cause there's times where I'm like, man, I'm just waiting for a mob to just intervene while they're filming the movie, take him away forever. But there's times when I'm just like, he'll say something that'll strike a chord in me that I would just looking around like, oh,
He's
Leon was sitting between me and him, and co-host. So every time Jong's on screen, goes like, ah, and I'm like, ugh.
So did we hear that through the whole movie? Oh, that was you guys. I thought it was two bears fucking in theater.
our train of misery.
No, I felt like that drama mask with sad on one side
Sad on one
and laughing on the other.
Well, I guess it was the same way with me, because I mean, he was making me laugh in certain parts.
I found some things here and there to chuckle at, like him, taking off on that internet meme with the.
Oh, that was Zach Galifianakis that did that.
Oh yeah, you're right. But that
got him confused.
Right, got it, I forgot. But I
You
found that
this
funny.
movie,
I was like, all right, that caught me.
But there was just Mr. Chow. Ken Jeong just plays that character so well. I mean, they're wearing out an Asian stereotype. It was funny in the beginning, and now it's bordering on offensive. But
shit, that shit has crossed the border.
That shit has crossed the border.
It is offensive. That's why it's funny.
It's crossed the border and set up a fruit stand.
It's crossed the border. Immigration caught that motherfucker and brought it back.
Selling fireworks over there.
But it's that. But there were some things that he would do. I don't want to even say anything, because really, that's, to me, I think that's the only entertaining part of the movie going to get in. But just the way he was cussing those guys out. There was one scene in particular. This is a very small part. This is the only part I'll give you. When they were going through a dog door and Ed Helms was crossing through, and he was trying to pull his leg out. Ken Jeong, Mr. Chow got black for a moment because he kicked to get his leg through, and Mr. Chow was like, "Hey, motherfucker, you kicked me!" And it was, look at Leon, you're like, hell, whatever, man. I'm gonna laugh, man. I don't care what you say.
I thought you were gonna say when they were pretending to be dogs throughout that whole scene. At least when he was, I was
I
laughing.
don't get it. He was the least funny part even of the first one, and here it's just like, I mean, it's grating every time he's on screen to me. I'm like, dude, this is all you've done your entire career and everything you've ever been in.
Yeah.
It's just not funny anymore, dude. You're obnoxious.
And I couldn't help but think, oh man, these guys are going to be so pissed when they walk out, because I started to realize how his character is one of the main plots of the movie. I mean, he really does kind of take front stage as far as this is his story pretty much.
I tell you, it's his and Alan's story. Yeah,
the other characters are supporting characters.
Well, it starts out as Alan's story, but once they really get going, it's like it wasn't even focused on Alan anymore.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Even though it's supposed to be a sort of the redemption of Alan's story, only if you believe the magic of bad Hollywood screenwriting.
And I got to say, okay, so everybody who's seen the trailer for this has seen the whole gag where he's traveling with the giraffe and it hits its head on the underpass. You see all that. And from the trailer, I kept hoping that maybe this is just cut poorly. But when it's in the theater in context, it'll be funny. But no, it's exactly like it is. Matter of fact, it's worse because the CGI is so terrible on it that if you can't buy that gag, then there's nothing. If just not only does it fall apart, it never even comes together. It's like a big waste of time.
And even worse, the other two movies both had dominant animals in them as part of the joke.
Sure.
And this has a lot of animals in it too. The difference being they kill all the animals in this one. I was going like, we know our friend Brian Salisbury is like, anytime they hurt an animal, like, or especially a dog, he's like, fuck this movie. So I went up to him after this, like, what'd you think of the movie, Brian? He's like,
I'm calling PETA. Well, it's funny that they actually took a jab at PETA.
I know.
Which is actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. These guys, they need. How many more fucking times can they lose each other? They all need to go out on those fucking leashes that they hold babies on. You know, I mean, at least Alan, he looks like a dog almost.
You know, they just need to stay the fuck home.
Just stay.
Anytime they
Just
plan on going anywhere, just stay the fuck home.
Or better yet, you want to do a proper intervention? Beat the shit out of Alan. That's all you need. I don't even know why they trust this guy.
Well, that's the thing, because you shouldn't feel that way. You should feel like, man, they're Alan's friend, and you see why they want to help him. But the whole time you're going, why would you even associate with Alan? Like he's so off the chart. You were just like, I'm going to change my number because I don't want this guy getting in touch with me at all.
You're going to get rid of him on Facebook, everything.
Severely autistic. Like, severe end of autism.
And even knowing that, you still want to take his ass out back and treat him like a gang initiation. You just want to kick the shit out of him. Zach Galifianakis made me laugh, but it's funny how we've seen that character and about that same character in about
everything Zach Galifianakis does.
But that character to a T in about 3 movies. What was that movie he was in with Robert Downey Jr.?
A Due Date.
Due Date. Same fucking character. I'm beginning to really.
Well, he was a little bit
gayer
gayer in that movie.
Really, because he was kind of gay in this.
Yeah, I know. He's kind of gay in this, but he's very gay.
You say extremely gay.
That would have been interesting if they actually would have followed through with that. I was kind of hoping that would be.
Oh, I know.
Didn't you think that too?
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. How could you not? They kept referring to it, especially with the relationship that him and Chow had.
I thought
just go for it.
I said everybody in every movie that gets married. I thought him and Mr. Chow were gonna get married in this one. You know, I'm a little disappointed they didn't take my idea. I sent him a letter. You know, I mean, come on. I called the studio every fucking week. Jesus, they ain't got no excuse.
At least a monkey. I don't know.
Yeah, marry the monkey. I would love that.
Yeah, that's my idea. Don't put any copyright on that.
No, I admittedly like some of the twists and turns that the movie was taking. I think that there was a funny twist in there when they're trying to actually help Mr. What's his name? God, Mr. Wong. Chow. God, how can I forget that?
The one you just hit 13 times in a row.
Mr. Lee.
You didn't see that twist coming, by the way?
I didn't.
I did.
Oh, really?
I know what you're talking, and I kind of did. That's actually why I laughed at it.
It was a good execution.
There's something that I don't hate this movie. I know you guys do. I don't. When I say I like it, I barely like it because I did when I did laugh at Kim Ji-young more than I thought I would. I thought that some of the stuff that they were doing as far as a adventure road trip type film, I thought there were some points where it worked. Not all the time, but it worked. But still, this is really, really one of the most uninspired sequels that I had seen in a long time, and I've seen plenty these last few months. So this is skimming itself at a rental.
Had this been like an American Pie, I might be there with you, because with those I'm like, well, I don't really expect much from these anyway. But I love the first Hangover. I really loved it.
It was like on our list for one of the best movies of that year. When we saw it.
Yeah, and certainly one of the funniest I've seen in a long time, and couldn't wait to buy it and watch it several times. This movie for me is like the third Matrix movie, where it's like, wow, this makes me not want to watch that first movie anymore.
Wait a minute, I thought you loved that movie.
He did until we told him how full of shit he was.
What are you guys making up stories about?
I swear to God, I honestly thought you liked that movie.
The third Matrix movie?
Yes.
How could you think that? Who likes that movie?
Nobody
Actually,
likes that movie.
no. You know what? He loved the second one.
I know that.
I like the second.
I like
the
second one.
You
too.
loved the second one at one point till you saw it again and you're like, yeah, it is.
No, I even remember the discussion coming out of the second one, talking to Harry Knowles outside of the theater, and I remember distinctly us all going, it wasn't terrible. I liked it. Maybe the third one will
the third one will make up
everything
for it. It'll
up.
be all, they'll book in each other.
Yeah.
And the third one was just like, fuck those
Yeah.
other movies. I'm going to be my own thing. It's like, well, you just fucked everybody. Thanks a lot, kid.
Okay, well, him and I remember something. I can see your eyes.
We must have been drunk.
You know what? This movie here is like tearing us apart. We're not even talking about the
You
Matrix.
guys have a rich history of remembering things about me that don't ever exist.
How much did you love The Hangover 3?
But, considering all that this had at its disposal to make a good movie and to completely fail the way it has. I find it like an excruciating waste of time. Yeah, there were some good things there, but such a waste. And I give it some old bullshit. I just don't
excruciating waste of time.
I have no desire to ever watch this again.
I think I chuckled once in the whole film, and it's funny because like a lot of comedies that I hate are like movies where like every joke is not just not funny, it's painfully bad. Like it's just sticking it to you bad. And there wasn't much like that here. It was just irritating. It was like sand in your underwear.
Your vagina.
Oh,
It was just like
he just offended you, man. You gonna talk to him
I'm
like
not talking
that?
about
Oh,
him.
come on, that's wrong.
I'm at the general you.
Oh, okay. The general vagina.
Don't believe him, Cyrus.
Don't worry, I don't. I couldn't actually go outright hate this movie, but at the same time, there's absolutely nothing good about it. I mean, I guess if I was, and I'm not even as attached to the first Hangover as you guys are. I mean, I think I gave it a matinee. I'm like, I liked it. It was funny. I don't think it's the funniest movie ever, but I liked it. There's just nothing to really like. Man, I hope Bradley Cooper gets a restraining order against these other actors. I swear to God, because it's just some old bullshit.
All right.
Yeah, I have to admit, I did laugh.
I know you did. There's an Asian stereotype in there. You know you're going to
I
laugh.
had a lot of that.
When you hear someone talk like this.
That's the one.
He's laughing right now.
That's the one chink in his armor.
Oh, he's right, though.
See, you like that one.
Oh, you love it, don't you?
I give it a rental.